This video is to introduce my first of my new range of clerestory, Great Western Railway clerestory carriages built between about 1880 and about 1910. I intend to make quite a few of these, and this is the first, so this is the prototype for the method, and it is C4, which is a all third, 7 compartment all third carriage, and it's running on the 6'4" bogies, churchwood bogies, and you can see I've got 3 copies of it loaded up here just to show you, and it should be it'll be available on my website and on the download station. So I'm just backing the Dean single, which is not mine. It's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful model. And for this model, I've used the automatic couplings by Skipper, and by that uses Andy 06's superscript library. So I'll just use those as a dependency. So although this means that I've got steam heating pipes connecting up, as well as the vacuum brake and the 3-link coupling, I'm prepared to go with that, because these ran for about until after the Great War, after the First World War, and certainly would have received some sort of additional heating. I kept the roofs fairly light. They come out, of course, from Swindon painted white, or finished in white, and they gradually go dirty over the years. So this is a sort of an off-white that I'm using, not a brilliant white. And similarly with the colours, I've tried to sort of come to a compromise there from the original, straight out of the paint shed colour to the much more toned down in-service colour. And as you can see here, I've just laid out a little station. This is actually using Watlington, my model of Watlington Station, which was just a little branch from the Great Western Great Central joint. Now the carriages are actually set to accept passengers from John Whelan's 1890 passenger set, but the station isn't. It's just got the default passengers on, so I don't know whether, I haven't tried this before, I don't know whether they'll load up into the carriages or not, but they certainly do work. Passengers work okay. Let's try and see what's happening. Here we are. So just let it come into the station. And just bring it to, I'm short of the station. Oh yeah, I am. What is it they say about steam trains? They're very easy to start, but stopping them in the right place is always something of an issue. So there we are. Let's bring it to a stop, and it's not going to operate for passengers. I can assure you it does work. They do work okay. Bob, my beta tester, has checked them out, and they'll load up. But so this is the, as I say, the first of my Great Western Railway clerestory carriages, although I will be doing the non-clerestory stock as well from about this period, and but I particularly like the clerestory stock, so this is why I'm choosing to make these. This is a very basic original to start with, because it's simply 7 5'8" wide compartments, 3rd class. There's no brake compartment, there's no other classes in this one. So although we've got an all-third train, this wouldn't normally be the configuration in operation. I put a couple of my private owner wagons in here, just to show them off. There's Collet and Son from Bolton on the Water, and there's Clifford also from Bolton on the Water station, which is just a little way away. So there we are. And the Watlington station is based on the original, of course, and this also shows my full harp station lamps. These are Great Western seats, really there for a later period because they show the the much later lozenge. So at some stage I'll have to make some Victorian Great Western seats. So there we are. Oil lamps, although I've included in the frame, it's all a bit of a compromise because in the frame I've included not just the, I don't know if we can get in a bit closer. I've included the cylinder for the gas as well as for the there's the brake cylinders under there, but also the gas cylinder is located under the frame as well. I think there's foliage out of the way. If you can see that in there, it is there anyway. So because I've decided to make those fairly uniform because I'd like to make a large variety of these clerestory carriages, and so this is just my first. So these will give me a lot of basic elements which will occur in other carriages. For example, the carriage ends, the one with the step end and the non-step end, the clerestory themselves. Inside the clerestories, each compartment has a couple of little pictures on the wall and a mirror, non-reflective as it now appears in the compartment, just as you used to have. But these are non-corridor stock, and quite a few of these initial ones that I'm making will be non-corridor. The GWR experimented with all, as indeed other companies, experimented with all sorts of variations. They introduced lavatories in various places along carriages, and they started experimenting with corridors. First of all with a side corridor, and then with a centre, so it ran along from the side with a door at the end here, and then with a centre-ended corridor, but that'll be for later carriages. So there we are. That's a GWR 1883, 4, 5, that sort of period, mid-80s, clerestory, all third.